faded out.
Faded out.
Oh, fantastic. The thing I find amazing when I do this activity is, well, there's 23 of us sitting in the woods, same instruction, same equipment, same thing going on, sitting in the same place. But we've got 23 unique bits of drawing here, yeah? And it shows that although we can all be doing the same thing with the same instructions, we've got 23 completely unique understandings and experiences going on in the same place. So providing groups with the time and the opportunity and the forum to talk to each other and share without having to be on activity is really important, so they can appreciate there are other aspects and other elements to their visits and other elements to their experiences, rather than just keeping them on task all the time. And that's where these sorts of reflective activities are really important, where this is just a tool to help them sit quietly. And some draw very little, they might just do one thing in the middle. What they're doing is just sitting quietly, being surrounded by people they know, being relaxed but quiet and not feeling the need for conversation or to fill it with an activity. And that's quite a golden period, I think, that it's really difficult to get in the playground. If you're sitting quietly, you're seeing that something's wrong, children will come over and interact, you know, or they're playing sport, or if they're in the classroom they're being asked to do something they should be on task. They're at home, they're watching television or should be getting ready for bed, you know. There's a whole list of things children need to do all the time. Their days are really quite full, even as adults we are. And just taking 2 minutes out just to sit quietly and giving them the opportunity maybe just to, they're probably not even thinking about this when they're cupping their hands, which is why I do a 50-50 thing. Ask them to close their eyes and cup their hands behind their ears, is just so they've got time just to settle and to maybe think about what's been going on at lunchtime, maybe think about what's going to be happening next. But it helps focus them in on what we're doing, which is really nice. If you want to keep these, you can write your name on the back and I'll collect them in, you can give them out later. These can be used really well as well back at school. You can do two things. You can do another one in the playground if you're from an urban group and see if their drawings make any difference in an urban setting to a natural setting. They might be darker, they might be sharper. You know, there could be some real differences there depending on the environment your school's in. You'd also get to make really nice collages when you get back and explore turning a sketch into something like a watercolour or collage, which is quite nice. Then you can talk about movement and sound together as well. And then try and get them to replay it. So like this is sheet music, try and get them to recreate those noises back at school just through the shapes. So there's quite a lot of cross bleed you can have between being here and being in school. And I think just seeing this as a field trip, isn't it, the bubble experience, you might not get the most out of it. And I think taking some of these little things home and modifying them for their classroom gives them a link in and out of that. Because if they're able to talk to unusual people here, when they go back in school, it's very easy to get back into that, the line of, I always mix with these children in the playground, I'll do that, but by reintroducing one of these sorts of things into the school, it may help just remind them and reinforce those other relationships they had when they were out here, therefore strengthening the group as a whole. And I think it's quite nice that. We're going to do another slightly different activity now, still using eyesight, different sensory, so we're going to be using, it's such a sunny day, it's a good time of year to do it, we're going to be making a little bit of temporary art. Each of you will get your own artist frame, like this, okay. Folds out, and whilst we're walking, we're going to do this whilst we stroll through the woods to another area. Whilst you're going, all the autumn leaves are still on the floor, you can pick up whatever you want, keeping it flat. As you go, you can layer over them. I'm doing this very quickly with just what's at my feet. There's some amazing ones outside of log circles. You close it up, and when you hold it up, all the sun shines through it, and you get a really nice sort of stained glass window sort of effect, and trying different colours overlaying them and different patterns as well. So each of you will get one of these, just see what you get whilst we're having a stroll. We're just going to the next area. If you want to give your pencils back to me, Julie, would you mind collecting in the car?